Hello, both of you. What a wonderful duo that I'm so pleased to introduce. So everyone, please join me in welcoming Christian Saclier, VP of Design Innovation at PepsiCo, and also an Associate Professor at Art Center College of Design, and Sho Rust. So together, they will talk to us about AI and the future of innovation and design. So welcome both to the stage.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the introduction, Akin. So I'm going to go through this. So basically, I'm going to talk about different areas of my life, and Sho has been involved into almost 2 years with me on that journey since AI, in a way, became public and was more obvious to everyone. And actually, I'm going to talk not specifically about myself, but I'm going to take 3 angles of the way that I've been using AI into the world of the different missions that I'm leading. So the first is me as corporate, and actually what is the work that we've been doing at PepsiCo, partnering with big players such as Adobe, Microsoft, and Miro, who's been really close to us in terms of what we've been exploring. I'm going to talk about me as a teacher and the work we've been doing with Sho and Gerardo at Art Center. And I'm going to talk as well about me as an individual. And actually, the reason why I'm using that statement, me as, is not just to talk about myself, because you will see at the end there is something for all of us into what I'm trying to refer to with that statement. And then we'll talk about synthesis and conclusion in terms of how this technology can help all of us moving forward. So first of all, when it comes to the corporate relationship that we've had with the big players in the space of AI, I'm showing here the size of those businesses just for people to kind of relate to how impressive the numbers can be, and actually also how the journey is concerning the giant and the Goliaths, as we say, in terms of that race towards innovation and what can AI deliver in that specific space. So when it comes to the partnership that we have at PepsiCo with Microsoft, in my previous company, there was a statement that we used to use a lot at Nestlé, which was, if only Nestlé knew what Nestlé knows. And actually, in reality, this statement is valid in any single large corporation, where actually we sit on tons of data, tons of information, and it's extremely hard to make sense of it. So definitely AI has been a tool that has been essential in order to help us navigate through that perspective and make sense of the data we have, leveraging AI through the entire Microsoft suite, from Excel to SharePoint, where we are actually exploiting the strength of AI in order to leverage the knowledge and make sense of it to take the proper actions. So Copilot has been the tool that we've been using in different instances to actually explore the limitations and also the opportunities of AI in terms of what we can extract in terms of information and then translate this into action. Miro has been a partner that has been very close to us as well in this exploration, and we've been doing there some work with them in order to also combine the power of collaborative tools and leverage AI to actually, again, make sense of the data, accelerate our creative process, and augment also the quality of the thinking and the quality of the outputs that we've been delivering in these creative sessions facilitated by the Miro collaborative space. When it comes to Adobe, obviously as design lead, this is an essential piece of our work, an essential component of our work, an enabler of our work. So I've been talking a lot in a recent post on LinkedIn about personalization, about the way we're leveraging creativity and what AI can do in terms of shaping and helping the development of new consumer experiences. But the last post on the right here talks about that conversation related to scrapping the web or not scrapping the web. So in that world of AI, of course, we all have this conversation around stealing data or not stealing data. And I think that the most important thing when collaborating in AI with a large-scale company relates to that ability to handle scale on one hand, which is really the point that relates to the personalization of consumer experiences, but also that kind of IP and potential constraint and limitations that are coming from the ownership of the assets and how we might be able to leverage the creativity of AI combined with traceability of assets in order to generate new experiences for consumers. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities, a lot of new offerings coming to the market from many different companies, but including PepsiCo, of course, in the coming month. And you can stay tuned on this as we are developing different initiatives that are going to deliver amazing consumer experiences with the way that we are developing those incredible brand experiences at PepsiCo. Now, when it comes to what we want to talk about a little more with Sho in this conversation is actually some experiments that we've been conducting in the context of the Master of Brand Strategy and Design at Art Center. And actually, an initial idea that I had to take my students through systems thinking and systems design, which was to create some sort of a fake company that would be gathering knowledge in the space of health and wellness in order to leverage AI to come up with creative solutions. And so what we have been doing in the context of that online master of design in brand design and strategy has been to lead the students through an exercise on redesigning the health and wellness system using Gen AI. And so the work that I've been pushing and leading for the students and for the school on this has been to deep dive into 5 key components to bring change to human behavior. So mood management, sleep, nutrition, and physical activity and relationships. And the work that we've been doing with Sho was to actually use Miro first to collaborate creatively, to gather knowledge, and then integrate that knowledge into the platform that Sho made available to us, leveraging Stability.ai, but also OpenAI as the engines to power augmented creativity and generate new set of concepts that would deliver a new augmented vision for health and wellness and how this could be redesigned. And we started that journey for some of you who were already at the presentation in December, as early as January 2023. So we were really pioneering in the space of creating a platform that students can tap into in order to not just populate the knowledge that we're gathering, but use the platform to actually create new ideas and shape new concepts to kind of deliver a new vision and a new perspective to what the health and wellness space can be. And what we've been doing has been to create a platform that you see here, and I'm going to go to the live demo in a minute, where we have been populating those specific sections that you see here. So one section relates to the brand guidelines, because again, we created some sort of a fake company to guide the students and to give them a purpose to be creative. So the name of the company is actually Well Excel. This has brand guidelines. There is a section in the database or in the platform that is a repository of knowledge where students could populate their knowledge. And I've been, of course, contributing to that to augment the quality and the level of knowledge in that space. And then you're going to see the outcomes of what students have been creating thanks to the use of that platform and the creative possibilities that it gave. So here is a platform that you can see here now live. And actually that platform, as I said, has those different sections where I can get into the fine details of what can I give to the students to actually get them to think creatively. So first of all, there is all of a section that relates to the 5 dimensions that I mentioned earlier, with 5 teams being created to provide specific content that the students can tap into in order to get creative in those specific spaces. And then the students were invited to actually contribute to the knowledge that they gathered on Miro. And actually this has been inserted into the platform for them to then being able to tap into that knowledge. And so the knowledge you see here is actually the contribution from the different teams, but also some input that I added to that, for then the students being able to have conversations with the AI, which is showing up here, where you can basically ask any question to any of those different 5 topics, and where you can have a real conversation with the chatbot in order to get your perspective augmented with that specific knowledge, plus tapping into the extended knowledge that is available out there. So not only the platform was offering the ability to interact with that bot and with specific knowledge that people were allowed to tap into, but on top of this, the platform was offering opportunities for students to be driven in terms of brand DNA and different dimensions that we wanted them to take into consideration into developing their specific value proposition. So the whole purpose of that project was to get students to practice AI, to use AI as a creative tool, and to actually also give them ways to speed up the process, the creative process, by giving them access to all types of templates and assets that they were able to tap into in order to develop their new value propositions, their new ideas, and their new solutions for the world of health and wellness. And so with that, students have been creative in terms of designing, creating new solutions for the space of the health and wellness through the leverage of that platform that has been made available to them to practice AI, to leverage AI, to have conversations with AI in order to create new ideas, new opportunities that are there now to be developed and to take action from. So here we are painting a vision about what health and wellness might become through the creative use of AI, leveraging knowledge that has been assembled and populated into a platform that has been made available to the students. Sho, is there anything you want to add in here on that portion?
Oh, no, it was very beautifully said. Yeah, it's just a really great example of what AI can do with beautiful context. And then how the students and yourself were able to bring a lot of expertise, beautiful research, and was able to augment the design process was really, in a really consistent, cohesive way. Is really cool to see. Yeah, it's just one really great example of taking like these AI models and then really taking control of the data set.
And actually what we did as well to provide even more granularity to the quality of the outcomes was to create different personas, which means that the conversation can be led with different teams in order to be really deep diving into specific areas of the health and wellness system. So the goal has really been to be elevating the quality of the conversation and pushing the boundaries in terms of how creative can the students be when it comes to creating new perspective and new solutions for the sake of improving the health and wellness landscape. And actually, one of the big value or the biggest value of that specific platform is really the ability to provide specific brand guidelines with identity and style and templates so that we are driving consistency across the different creative outputs. If we wouldn't have had that, the creativity would have gone wild and students would have come with different ways to pitch their ideas, different ways to promote the different concepts, while we can clearly see here that there is a consistency across the creative outputs that have been delivering. And I'm of course not deep diving into each and every single idea, but I just want to give a glimpse as to the quality of the outputs that have been generated through that exercise, and thanks to the power of that platform and what it brought to the students in terms of material for them to innovate from. So now let's move to the next section, which relates to me as an individual, because from the work that I'm doing at PepsiCo, partnering with the biggest companies leveraging AI, to the work we've been doing with Art Center, leveraging that creative knowledge in order to help students and new generations to tap into the potential of AI. I thought, okay, what is it that I can do with AI as an individual, and how can I help even more people leveraging that amazing opportunity? And this is where I partnered again with Sho on a new area that is called PubGen, and his new venture that he's going to describe in a minute. But I decided to invest myself into helping people understanding better how to unlock human potential and actually leveraging AI in order to help people shape new perspective and get access to a higher quality of information. So the concept that I have developed and supported by Sho, of course, in terms of how it is powered, is actually a platform that is called Me as Human, where I want to give access and give people the ability for them to grow to their best potential by leveraging AI and creating new tools and platforms and experiences that are allowing people to not only creating their vision for what they want to become, but also giving them the means to measure the progress. So this is why I was playing with the words when I started the presentation and talking about me as corporate, me as teacher, me as individual, because the name of the concept that I'm pitching here is Me as Human. And it's a play with the word because at the end, it's also about measuring it. So me as stands for me as something, but also measure it. And that's the whole purpose of what we are trying to do now with that new platform that I've kind of developed and designed in order to provide access to people to information. And the reason why it's powered by the new platform that Sho has been developing that is called PubGen is because it's also a way to navigate towards truth. And there, Sho, you might want to take the relay on that one.
Yes, as I've been working with AI for over a decade now, working on my own AI startups for over 8 years now. Something that's really important to me is like a truthful AI. I think truth will kind of lead to beauty and clarity into the world and just a better outcome for AI in general. But to feed it truth, we thought, okay, it's really important that we take really good content from people like Christian, but also like newsrooms around the world, and help them spread the truth better. So using AI for things like fact checking, or like, how do I improve this article? Is this story or is this content that I created, am I considering all the pieces? So by helping great content, premium content creators like Christian share their story, share the truth, we're able to make the world a better place. So that's what this new venture is all about. Yeah.
Exactly. And so when it comes to the conversation that we just had before around scrapping the web or not scrapping the web, actually there are pros and cons of creating original content versus scrapping the web. And of course, the most important point here is probably the ethical consideration around using others' content without permission. But when it is about us becoming or evolving from creators to editors, it is about also creating content in order to alleviate all of the perspectives and bring the truth to the conversation. So that's really what is my goal with that personal venture, which is really to help frame conversations around how do we improve, how can we improve not just on the health and wellness dimension, but also on unlocking human potential and evolving ourselves to make the world a better place. And to close, actually, as I see time is short, we only have 1 minute left. The key learnings from a corporate point of view are really finding the right partners to scale AI initiatives, ensuring partners have financial stability to potentially address the legal and intellectual property potential issues. When it comes to the academic learning, it's really about teaching how to leverage AI in creative work, but it's also encouraging agility and innovation in students that might not necessarily always think about all of the possible use they can make. And of course, in the context of a creative institution like Art Center, students are priding themselves into creating themselves. But actually, the way that AI can be leveraged is really there for them to tap into in order to augment their creativity. And it's interesting to see that sometimes we have to push the students in that perspective because they are just not necessarily always thinking about the best way to use actually AI. And then when it comes to individual perspective, so here it's about democratizing the access to AI tools to help curate the content. And as Philip said in his introduction yesterday, evolving from creators to curators in order to enhance creativity and productivity, but also truthfulness, which is really what Sho is trying to do with his team and with PubGen.
Christian, so sorry to interrupt. Thank you so much to both you and Sho. What a fantastic session that you presented for us both. We're getting ready to get booted, but before we do, thank you so much. And everyone, please enjoy the 10-minute break before we go to our next sessions.
Okay,
thank you.